Sri Krishna Paramatma says, Bahunam Janmanam Ante Jnanavan Mam Prapadyate Vasudevam Sarvamiti Sa Mahatma Sudurlabha. That person who sees only God everywhere, within and without, such a great one is rare to find. And after several births of pursuit of God, of walking on this path of God, finally such a person develops devotion and surrenders to me, as a result of which he develops this vision where he sees divinity everywhere. In our scriptures, our Sanatana Dharma, the law of reincarnation is the very fundamental basis of the Sanatana Dharma. We believe that we come back again and again. Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam, Punarapi Janani Jatare Shayanam. Again and again we come back into this human birth in different names, different forms, in different places. And every birth that we come in, when we walk on this spiritual path, we continue from where we left in the previous lives. And that is how, by continuously walking over several births, ultimately this wisdom dawns upon us that world is temporary, God alone is permanent, and therefore you develop some kind of a dispassion, detachment from the world because of the good memories of the previous births, and that is how you ultimately surrender to God and walk on this path. Many young students ask these questions, these are there in the letters, that how long will it take to achieve this vision? The answer is, it can be here and now, or it can be never. It depends not on me, it depends on you. The extent of the intensity that you have to reach God defines how quickly you will reach God. In Tripura Rahasya, Dattatreya tells to Parashurama that the person who is in search of realization should be like somebody whose body is on fire, and nothing other than water or balm can assuage his grief. The person whose body is burning, if you ask him, come, let's go and have a nice lunch, do you think he is going to come with you? If you tell him, let's go and entertain ourselves with something, do you think he is going to come with you? Not at all. He will say, first find me some water so that this burning, this pain, this grief of burning is removed. And until that happens, that person is not going to look at anything else in life. So that kind of intensity of yearning if you have, then you can achieve even now. Where is the reason? Because you already are that. What is silence? Absence of sound is silence. Otherwise silence is everywhere. We don't hear silence because there is some sound which superimposes or covers it. Likewise, you are divine as you are. That is the good thing. But to realize that all that which is not divine has to be given up. That is why in Ashtavakra Gita, very opening verse, Janaka Maharaja, who is a Jnani, in a way he has put a lot of effort in his life. He is a ruler of a kingdom, and he is, you see, the older person in the later stage of life. And here is one Ashtavakra with 8 bends in the body, a young boy, probably 8, 9 or 10-year-old, and walks into the Sabha and ultimately defeats the other scholars and wins the favor of Janaka. And Janaka Maharaj realizes that he is a Jnani and makes him sit on the throne, and he sits at the feet of Ashtavakra. And the very opening verses of Ashtavakra Samhita is this. Katam Jnanam Avapnoti. Same question that you ask me. How do I attain this wisdom? Janaka asks Ashtavakra. Katam Muktir Bhavishyati. How do I attain liberation? Vairagyam cha katham praptam. How do I gain this detachment? I am so attached to everything in the world. How do I develop detachment? Etad bruhi mama prabho. O Lord, the Ashtavakra, tell me about this. These are the questions that are gnawing at my heart. How do I attain that wisdom? Vasudevam Sarvamiti. Everything is divinity. How do I attain that vision and wisdom? How do I attain Moksha, muktir labish. How do I attain that detachment? Because I'm so attached to everything, including this body that I'm dwelling in. Everything I'm attached to. How do I develop that? Please guide me on that. And what does Ashtavakra tell him in return? He tells him, Muktim Uchchasi Chetat. If you really, really want to attain liberation, you're not fooling around, you're not wasting my time. Simply let us, one Jnani has come, let us entertain ourselves with some discourse. No. Janaka is so very keen, and Ashtavakra still warns him. Muktim Ichchasi Chetat. Tat means a young boy or a young one. Old young one, though Janaka is the old one. But he calls him young one because on the spiritual path he is still young. He says, if you are really, really serious about mukti, then let us discuss further. Mukti michchasi chetat. Vishayan vishavatyaja, he says. Give up all the desires of the world. Vishaya. How? Vishavat. As if it is poison. If somebody offers you a cup of poison, are you going to tell them, put 2 cubes of ice and give me, I will have it cooler? No. You will say it's poison, take it away. It will kill me. To that extent, Vishayan. Doesn't matter, a little enjoyment in life, a little pleasure, it doesn't matter. It's like telling, heat up my poison and bring, or cool my poison down and bring. That is how you are arguing with your senses when they entice you. A little bit is enough. This much is okay. Everybody does it. You are still so much better. Other people are 24 hours engaged in all kinds of things. 2, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes doesn't do any harm. No, it does harm. So he says, Vishayan Vishavatyaja. First thing you give up is, give up all these pursuit of pleasures of the mind and the senses as if it is poison. Howsoever little, it is still a poison. So Vishayan Vishavatyaja. Then that is the negative part, what you must give up and what you must practice. It's not enough if you give up these and don't practice anything else. He says, Kshama, Arjava, Daya, Tosha, Satyam, Piyushavad Bhaja, he says. Kshama, the ability to take things as they come. To see God's hand, Pratibodha Viditam Matam says it. See God's hand and accept things as they come. Kshama is forbearance, forgiveness. That happens only when you accept that everything is God's will, which may be favorable to you, may not be favorable to you, which may be pleasant or unpleasant, nice or not so nice. Yet everything is under that great God's will, and therefore Kshama. To be able to accept it, bear it, and not retaliate, not react. Arjava, straightforwardness, honesty, sincerity. Daya, compassion for all. Tosha or santosha, contentment. Whatever I have is enough. Running behind more and more and more. That should not be. Contentment. Satyam, truth. These are the 5 qualities Ashtavakra advises Janaka to develop. Imagine, Janaka is already a very great king in those times. He is the father-in-law of Sri Rama, father of Mother Sita, and known for his wisdom and known for his charity and religious and spiritual works all throughout. In fact, Ashtavakra gains entry into the Sabha only by praising Janaka that you are such a great king who has done so much of charity. You have, superseded your own forefathers in conducting yajna yagas and things like that. Hearing his praise, Janaka comes and tells, who is this boy? Let him in. But here is the situation where it is just the reverse, and he tells him, oh Janaka, I know you are still very attached, because a while ago you let me in because I praised you. Otherwise your doorkeepers were not even letting me in. So he tells him, Vishayan Vishavatyaja. First thing you give up that. Second, Kshama, Arjava, Daya, Tosha, Satyam. Piyushavad Bhaja. Accept these 5 good qualities as if you are accepting Piyusha, Amruta. This is the kind of first efforts that are to be put on this path. Straight away, 20 minutes of meditation will not take you anywhere. Unless all this has been done. But maybe Bahuni me vyatitani janmani tavacha Arjuna, he says, Krishna says, You have spent many lives before. This is not the first time that you have come here. Bahuni me vyatitani janmani tavacha Arjuna tanyaham veda sarvani natam veta param tapa. You don't know about it, but I know. So even if you are able to sit here and listen to these great truths of Upanishads, and at least some kind of a curiosity, a jignasa has begun within you. What is this truth? Is it achievable? Is it doable? Can I put some effort on this path? If you have thought even like this, that itself shows that in some births, in the previous births, you have done some good, you have put some effort. Otherwise, it's not possible to listen to these words. You will not be able to tolerate them, forget about listen to them. You will not be able to sit in this place if you don't have some merits of the previous lives, which you have gained by walking on this spiritual path, by practicing these spiritual values. Once we were in UK, and the host was driving me back from some place back to his home, and when you are in somebody's car, you are a captive audience. You can't open the door and vanish, so you have to listen. So he was talking and asking me some questions. Luckily, he was a good host. He was asking me spiritual questions. Otherwise, mostly, when will my daughter get married? When my son promotion? When will I buy the next house? When will this? Or some people, even Swami, is there going to be a fourth world war? What will happen to me? But he was a good, sincere sadhaka. He asked me about liberation, that why is it that I don't have still that burning passion to realize myself? Why is it that this mind strays away again and again into lanes and bylanes of this world, and I forget the very reason why I am here? In your presence, I get so much of inspiration. I feel like walking on this path. But soon after, the inspiration, soda bubble inspiration, it dies down. He was asking some questions like this. Then I told him, if only you can remember your past, that how much effort you have put earlier in your previous birth, take it from me, not a moment you will waste in this birth in idle pursuits. If only you remember how much effort you have put in your previous births to come till here, you will not waste a single moment today. You will not be distracted by anything of this world because you have put so much of effort. And it was an eye-opener for him. Because yes, it is true. You have all put great efforts in your previous lives, even in this life. And therefore you are able to even listen to something like this. Otherwise it is just not possible to even think. Paranchikani virtrinat swayambhu tasmat paran pashyati na antaratman, it says. Kathopanishad. The senses have been created in such a way that they always go outwards. That is the nature of the senses. Why fire is hot? It is how it has been created. So you have to take care not to put your finger in it and burn yourself. That is your job. So Kaschid Dhira, one person, somebody who has that intense yearning to realize, Pratyag Atmanam Aikshat, he wants to realize this self, which is the truth. It also is the merit of previous births, Guru's grace. Many things come together to help him with this. So such a person who wants to realize this Atman, wants to see this Atman, Avrita Chakshuhu Amrutatvam Icchan, he turns his gaze inwards. When everybody is looking outside, running behind the senses and the world, this is the person who turns his vision inwards. That effort is required from your side. Vishayan Vishavatyaja Shama Arjava Dayatosha Satyam Piyusha Vadbhaja. This effort is required. Without efforts, you will not simply attain anything. That's why yesterday I was telling, somebody said, Swami, you do seva and do namasmarana enough, and you will take care of the rest. You will see to that we attain self-realization. I said, yes, because you have done seva and namasmarana, therefore I am now teaching you Vedanta. Because this is how I will take care of you. When a teacher tells a student, you do your best, I will take care, it doesn't mean that he is going to pass him without even correcting his answer paper. He only assures him that I will teach you well. I will train you well. I will help you understand the concepts. I will clear all your doubts so that you can write your exam and pass based on your own merit. Likewise, I teach you this today because based on this, you should be able to pass this exam. In the examination, the same teacher who is so compassionate in the class, you ask any number of times, a good teacher will answer. The same teacher in the examination hall becomes completely silent. Anytime you cannot even afford to ask him. All that compassion vanishes because now he is an examiner. Likewise, these are the times when you're learning things, put your efforts. If you don't put efforts, nothing will happen. You will remain where you are. But if you put efforts, you will definitely get great results. Now, times are such that even a little effort put on this path, great results you will be able to achieve. Swalpamapyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. Even a little effort you put, little of this dharma, atma dharma you get to know, great results will come. You'll get rid of the fear, anxiety of samsara, of death. All these will just vanish. Neha vikrama nashosti pratyavayo na vidyate. All efforts that you put on this path will never get wasted. And there are no adverse effects to this. Some people think joining students in Satyasai institutions, there is a lot of side effects to it. What are the side effects? He will not be interested in so many things of the world. He won't be what you call normal. He'll become abnormal. That is all their imagination. In a mental hospital, if somebody is behaving proper, he will be considered as mental. The rest of them will think we are all normal because we all behave the same. He is behaving something wrong with his behavior. He is the madman. There is a joke. Says Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru went to a mental hospital and he went and asked one of those patients over there, who are you? He said, I am Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. So Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru told, what are you saying? Not you, I am Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, he said. No, I am Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, he said. Then when Pandit ji got offended and he started shouting, no, I am Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. And then the mad fellow said, this is what I told, that is why they put me here. So if you tell loudly, they'll put you also here. So Ramakrishna Paramahamsa would say, for the world intoxicated person, God intoxicated person looks like a madman. For a God intoxicated person, the world intoxicated person looks like a madman. But between the two intoxications, God intoxication is the most helpful and least harmful. It is the best. Being mad after the spiritual path is better. Anyway, you are going to be mad. Behind something or behind someone. At least be behind God. This madness is a better madness. Again, Ashtavakra says, Bhrantasyeva dashastas tadrisha eva janate. The situation of this madness, this person who is mad after God, will be understood by another person who is also of the same kind. The rest cannot appreciate it. Mirabai will say, Eri meto mero dard na jane koi. Nobody understands my pain, my craving, my yearning for Krishna. Others think I have gone mad. Jauhari ki jati jauhari jane, she says. Only a jeweler will understand the other jeweler. How can anybody ordinary understand this God madness? He was telling Master M was called child lifter. He was not child lifter. He was guide to the children, to the young people. He would guide them towards Ramakrishna so that they can seek the truth from him. That's how he guided them all towards this path. So know for sure that for several births you have walked on this path. This is not the first time. You just don't end up here because you write an entrance exam and pass and become a student or a staff or whatever devotee. No, it's not that straight and it's not that simple. There is so much that has gone into this in many, many births of the past. Therefore, be mindful of all the efforts that you have already put. And now with a little effort you can attain that. Then why should you not? That is the idea. So that you do. Another simple question I will answer, and then somebody asked that I was brought up in another religion. You see, where these concepts, Saguna Brahma, Nirguna Brahma, and these things don't exist. And now I find it so difficult to, I like this what you are saying, but I find it so difficult because there is a clash going on in my head where we have been told that this is not the way to worship. The forms are not real, or names are not real. There is only one without a name and a form. So how do I find some kind of understanding of it and overcome this conflict? The first thing we have to say is that our Sanatana Dharma is so very comprehensive in its approach. Ekam Sat Vipraha Bahuda Vadante. Same truth is told by several people, great people, by different names. We have no problem. Saguna Bhakti, no problem. Nirguna Bhakti, no problem. Is Saguna better than Nirguna? No. Is Nirguna better than Saguna? No. Because any Bhakti is Bhakti only. Some people who are Vedantics, they look down upon the others. You see, you people are still running behind idols and names. We have graduated to no form, no name, and no progress also. But that is not the way. We have to be very, very, very grateful that we are born in a country like Bharat. And we are born in a culture which is spiritual in nature. It's fundamentally spiritual. And we belong to the great Sanatana Dharma, which is the world's most authentic, most elaborate, most comprehensive, and the clearest and the finest spiritual philosophy. There cannot be another philosophy that matches. It has everything in it. You can follow any religion and you can be a Sanatana Dharma follower. Or you follow Sanatana Dharma, you can follow any religion, provided you understand them correctly. At the end of it, names and forms have to be discarded. Mundaka Upanishad says, Yatha Nadya Syandamana Samudre Yaste Gachanti Namarupa Vimuktaha Tatha Vidwan Namarupa Vihaya Parat Param Purushamupaiti Divyam. Like rivers flow into the ocean, giving up their names of Ganga, Yamuna, Godavari, Krishna. Likewise, the Vidwan, the one who knows Brahman, gives up the attachment to all names and forms and becomes one with that ultimate Brahman. In Brahman, no male, no female, no rich, no poor, no old, no young, no follower of this religion and that religion. Everything becomes one there. So that is Sanatana Dharma. And Narasimhamurthy has written one very good book on Sanatana Dharma. It is a little radical to many. It may appear like that, but that is my push only. Don't blame him if you don't like it. If you like it, you can always praise him. But the idea is that this whole concept of Sanatana Dharma and Hinduism has become a grey area. Hinduism is a... See, Hindu word itself is not there in any Veda, Upanishads, any of our old scriptures you pick up. Hindu word itself does not exist over there. It is a word which has been coined by some people who came from elsewhere into this land. And they did not know how to call the people who lived on this side of the river Indus, Sindhu. And that's how we became Hindu. And Hindu and all those practices which were being followed from east to west and north and south, they all were simply without any understanding put into one common category called Hinduism. I was telling somebody, India is not Bharat. India is the political boundaries, the geography. Bharat is far, far deeper than that. Somebody calls us Indian, that is one way of calling ourselves. That mainly refers to the geographical or political extent of our country. But Bharat is a far deeper philosophy. And Bharatiyas are far deeper people than what is understood by those people who have a citizenship of this country or who have voting rights or who live in this country or dwell in this country. It's just not that. Bharata is very deep word. One day I'll ask him to lecture on that idea. So Sanatana Dharma is the original idea, what we followed. And that was so comprehensive. That did not mind you follow a form or you don't follow a form. You have to reach the same place. Take any path. Jitane mat, utane path. That is what Ramakrishna Paramsa would say. As many faiths, so many paths. Is no problem. He went and he lived like a Muslim for some time. He lived like a Vaishnavite. He lived like a Buddhist. He lived like a Christian. He tried everything in his life. Sri Ramakrishna Paramhamsa. He tried to live all the religious philosophies by practicing them on a in daily life. And finally came to the same conclusion. That all ultimately point toward the same goal. These are paths. but the goal is one. And this he gained out of his own experience. Because in that oneness, everything becomes one. There is no two over there. Ekameva advitiyam. There is the other religion. But if people have been brought up in a certain religious philosophy, a certain way, so they have to slowly raise them. This call is not only to the people who have who are the followers or who are the who belong to other religions. Even to Hindus, this is a call. Please rise above this narrow-mindedness. Because Sanatana Dharma is far beyond the ideas of just set of rituals and set of worships and set of scriptures. No, Sanatana Dharma is far deeper and eternal than that, which believes in oneness of all. Everything is divine. That is Sanatana Dharma. Now, how do I realize this? Okay, you worship one God, you realize that, you want to do some rituals, you realize it, but ultimately all that should lead to realization. But what happened over a period of time, this idea of rituals and worship, the karma kandas, became so strong that people lost their original idea why they are even doing this. And they forgot the real goal and became lost in these rituals and things like that. And then started taking great pride of these Brahmana, Vaishya, the distribution of people. The Krishna says in his in Bhagavad Gita, even Purusha Suktam says for that matter, everybody is born for this. Brahmanam Mukhamasid, Bahu Rajanya Kritaha. You might have heard all these in these chants here. Uru Tadasya Dvaishyaha, Padbhyam Shudram Ajayata, Shudra Ajayata. All the from the face came the Brahmins, from the shoulders came the Kshatriyas, then from the stomach region, thighs came the Vaishyas, and from feet came the Shudras. All are born of the same Purusha. If I tell you, you cut off your feet, will you cut your feet away? Just because it is your feet, it is you. It is the same Brahman. So also Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita that he only has created the 4 categories of people based on Guna Karma Vibhagashaha, he said. Based on Guna Karma, not from Janma or not from other criteria. They are Gunas. So based on that I have done. Tasya Kartaram Api Mam. I only have created it. I am not. It is not done by somebody else, but there is a reason behind it. A musician cannot be a good cook. A cook cannot be a good musician. A good physician cannot be a good musician. We don't know, because everybody is made in a certain way because of their all previous births and things like that. So based on that, all these have been created. But the narrow-mindedness of religion has destroyed this beautiful idea of Sanatana Dharma. And this book is here to refute that. That no, you have to, Hinduism is a part of Sanatana Dharma. If Sanatana Dharma is the root, all religions are a part of this Dharma. All are like the various branches of the same tree. If you go deeper and deeper, you go down, finally you end up in the philosophy, everything is divine. And that is Sanatana Dharma. And after that, everything else, how it is divine, in which way it is divine, that is up to you, how you call it. Ramakrishna would say, one Christian came to a river or a pond and said, this is water. Somebody came and said it is pani. Somebody came and said it is jala. Somebody came and said vari, neer. But ultimately when they drank, they knew that all this is one. So till you drink that, these conflicts will remain. So drink that, that is what it is. Drink means experience that. Brahmaiva bhavati. And unless you know that, you don't realize that. Yesterday I was talking to somebody, they said, how do I know God? The only way to know God is to be God. Not read about God, not listen about God, not talk about God. Be God, that is the only way. And how to be God? Don't be what is not God. That now you can be God. What is not God? Vishayan Vishavatyaja. What is God? Shama Arjavadaya Tosha. Satyam Piyushavad Bhaja. That is divinity. And all that which is not falling in this is not divinity. It is as simple as that. And so, 2 things. One, remember that you have walked on this path before. This is not the first time. You cannot come this close if you had not walked earlier. So know that you have done lot of efforts, put lot of efforts in the past, therefore you are here. Second, rise above these rituals, rise above these kind of rules and regulations of religion into the philosophy, which tells only one thing is Sanatana. Everything is divine, all are divine. That is the idea of Sanatana Dharma. Since once there was a conference going on the unity of religions, and everybody had a presentation. So all presented and said, there is only one God. Everybody agreed, yes, there is only one God. And the conference concluded, yes, we all agree there is only one God. Then again the fight started. So now the question was, why are you all fighting now? He said, yes, we all agree there is only one God, but which God? My God or their God is that one God? Then we didn't understand anything of that conference. Therefore, experience alone can teach you. To experience that, purification of mind is required. For purification, we said, Chittasya Shuddhyartham karma. Actions are only for purification of mind. Ekagrartham upasana. For the focus and concentration of mind, upasana, bhakti is required. And mokshartham brahma vidya. Only through brahma vidya or Vedanta we can understand moksha. Liberation is possible through that. Iti Vedanta Dindima. This is the declaration of the Vedanta. Vedanta is the essence of Sanatana Dharma, and those who study Vedanta, they will truly be able to understand Sanatana Dharma in all its entirety. The others who are stuck with Puranas and other things will always get confused. So you have to go deeper and deeper and go to the root, which is Sanatana Dharma. Don't get stuck in the branches, leaves, flowers and fruits. Go deeper and you will find that all these branches have come out of the same root. All the flowers of different size, all the fruits of different size, they all have come out of the same root, and that is Sanatana Dharma. That is this book all about. So much for the marketing today. Rest we will talk tomorrow.